What's up guys, Shane and Fugatech 3D Printing, and today we're going to do a fully 3D printed SMG rubber band gun. Welcome back guys. So I have laid out here, can't see it yet, but you will soon. I've laid out here all the 3D printed parts for a rubber band SMG. So it's our 3D printed rubber band gun. It's pretty awesome. So one of the guys I met on Facebook has developed this project, and he has like a beta one on Thingiverse that you can kind of download, but his actual one you can buy for plans. You can buy the plans on Etsy. So this thing was cool. Like when he first teased it in the Fugatech group, I was like, oh my god, I need this. But he was like, hey, you have a 3D printing channel, would you mind, if I send you the files for it, testing it out? That is what we're here to do. So I've got, again, all the parts are laid out here, the hardware we need. I ordered everything in. I think I have rubber bands. There's one thing I did not check is if I have the proper rubber bands. I think I have some that will work. So all that being said, let's look at all the 3D printed parts, the hardware we need, and then let's put it together. Alrighty then, so here we have everything kind of laid out, and there's a lot here. It doesn't even all fit on the screen there. But I want to start with the hardware here. So first up here, we have 4mm tube. We need 3 pieces, 22mm, 18mm, and 17mm. This is the one I got here. It's 4mm by 0.45mm. I think that's the wall thickness of it. But yeah, this I got off McMaster-Carr for maybe $3 for each of these. So each one's about 12 inches long. And yeah, so it's basically $1 per foot of this brass tubing that you need in order to make some of the pivot points for some of the smaller hardware pieces down here. And then next we're going to need 21 M3 by 6mm screws. I'm using socket cap head screws. Then we need 4 M3 12mm. We need 8 M3 16mm. And we need about 33 M3 nuts. Of course, I can't really write anything there as I did this last night. So yeah, and then it's all these printed parts here as well. So over here is kind of the internals that I had laid out just so I could kind of get a picture in my head how this is all going to go together properly. But yeah, so we have the main body. Here's the slide that goes in there. Trigger goes down into here. We have the 2 side panels with grips. This is apparently the clip. Not exactly sure how that's going to work. The right panel, right grip, and then this again is all the internals that go inside to make it all work. I have not put any of this together yet, so this should be pretty fun. And I went ahead and printed out his instructions. I'm going low tech. I printed them out. I would appreciate, I think, some actual pictures here for when he puts like the internals together. That's going to be the hardest part for me. Now what I need, I'm sorry, the one thing I did not mention is you need a Bic spring pen. So I'm going to need to cannibalize a pen, which I think I have one here somewhere, and take the spring out of that. All right, so the very first thing we're going to do with the instructions is it says to take the body here and glue and set in all of the M3 nuts in here. So I went ahead and did the backside already just to test out the fit. They are super duper tight. Honestly, hammering these in alone holds them in more than enough. This one broke a little bit, so I did add a little bit of glue there, but there's going to be a grip on top of it, so it's not going to matter. I just need to hammer in all of these ones, and then we'll also need to hammer in, I put in some here, there are some more M3s that go onto each of the side panels. There's 4 that goes on each one of those, and that is going to be the main starting point here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish hammering these in, and then we can continue with the build. Okay, all of the nuts are in there, so now we're going to go ahead and take the left side here, which goes on like so, and it says to go ahead and screw it on. So we're going to do all the ones that don't have the socket head in them. So the battery in my overhead camera just died, but the build must go on. So we're going to go ahead and screw in all the ones that don't have a nut on the back of them into the body with the 6mm. Yeah, we're going to use 6mm to connect the body on. Okay, so here we are. I put all the internal parts in red just to make it a little bit easier for everyone to see and to kind of see how everything, to see how it fits together and whatnot. But as you can see, all the tubes are in there. I've got the bolts in everything now. It slides generally easy. I think I might need to tense up the rubber band that's in there right now. The only thing I think I might change is the rubber band that's in there. I might need to change that up a little bit just because I think it's a little bit too, or it's not stiff enough. It doesn't pull back quite enough. And then I think the spring right here is a little too long, because when I depress it, it's a little hard for this to actually go in front of the trigger there, that trigger guard. It's a little bit tight to do that. So I might need to snip a little bit of that off. But other than that, I think it's pretty much good to go for the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, this is the clip here. We're going to snip this in here, and that just locks in now with this clip. So all you just push this down and you can pull the magazine out, clip, however he calls it, and then just do that. It clicks right into place, nice like that. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the other side of this on and see if this actually fires. Well, after fiddling with it a little bit and adding a little bit of some silicone spray to it, here it is. And it works, but there's a little bit of tolerance issues here. I don't know if it's my printer. This was all printed on the original CR10 that I have. I could have something off. Maybe it's just not quite tuned exactly, but I am having a tolerance issue with the bolt here. So if I clamp down both of these sides onto the actual print on the gun, the bolt doesn't slide at all. So I'm able to loosen up both of them. I added a little bit of silicone to both of these, and that's helping a little bit. I think some dry PTFE lube would be better, but the silicone is what I have, so it helps out a little bit. So it's assembled right. I don't know if I'm actually using it right though, just because of how it actions. You have to have a band on the hammer here. The hammer has to have at least one band on it for you to start being able to do things and for it to actually start actioning. This thing shoots, it's fully automatic. I'll just say that too. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but once I get this loaded up and I pull the trigger, it's done in a blink of an eye, and I will show you guys how quickly it goes through. I know I'm not using the right rubber bands because I just don't have the ability to just order off Amazon and it'd be here in a day. I don't have that. So he's recommending number 16s if you want to load a bunch of them, or you can go up to, I think he said 23s if you only want to load a few, but they're really powerful. I think those are the double wide ones. I'm using this assorted side of rubber bands from Harbor Freight that I had here for a while, and I'm using the largest one, which are the blues, and I'm doubling them up on each one of the notches. So each round has 2 rubber bands on it, just because that's what it takes to actually get enough pressure on it. So you're just going to add them on the front there, put it onto the wheel, and then I'll action it, and then I can pull it back, roll the wheel backwards in order to add on a second set of bands. Now you have to pull the bolt forward in order to release the pressure on the wheel, which pulls the hammer forward, and that way you can actually roll the wheel the right way. But I can get a fair bit on here using these. I don't know if they're the right size or not. But okay, so here's the last one that I'm putting on. It is going on the hammer, and it's pulling the hammer forward. Now there's pressure against the catch of the trigger. So as soon as I pull the trigger down, this is just gonna unload. And yeah, so before I unload this, I wanna look at the size. So compared to my hand, this actually is a really nice size. It kind of reminds me of kind of like a P90 that you have a lot of video games, like just real small, tactile, kind of gonna have your hand on the front here. But yeah, I really do like it. The trigger is a nice size. It doesn't have a huge trigger well in there either, so I can easily put trigger on safe because there's no safety. Safe is your finger's safety, like a Glock. Your finger is the safety, so that's what you need to keep out of there. For the palm, it feels good having these extra plates on here to kind of give it a little more grip. It fits my hand very well. I don't have huge hands. I mean, I wear medium to large gloves, so I don't know as someone with like extra large hands, but I mean, there is space for my fingers here to go up and down. The clip is, from what I can tell, it's just for fun. It's like, oh yeah, let's clip it in there, get it locked and loaded. It's literally just for fun. You can fully operate this without the clip. It has no bearing on the functionality other than it's kind of cool. I might reprint this in a different color just so it looks different than the actual gun itself. Maybe I'll do it in the red as well, just so it's a little different. I might reprint the bolt. So I'm thinking here is I'm going to reprint the bolt. If he doesn't resize it, I'm going to reprint the bolt, but I'm going to scale it down like 2%. Reassemble it, put that in there again, and see how it works. I can't go down too far, otherwise the M3 nut won't fit in there properly. which has a band between right here and right back here. There is a rubber band that's in there and twisted. I took a yellow band out of this kit, this bag here, and I put it on each side and then twisted it around a bunch of times to shorten it and make it a little bit more taut, and that seemed to work out well. All right, so I've got 4 sets of 2, so there's 8 gum bands on here. Let's see what happens. Ready? Wham! It's loud, I'm gonna tell you that, right by my ear here. That hammer slamming back and forth is loud. I don't see any fatigue on any of the parts, which is great. These were not printed at 100%. I think they didn't actually give me any print instructions. So the print settings I used were 3 top, 3 bottom, 3 perimeters, 30% infill, which is the exact same that the settings that I use when I print parts for 3D printer. They're usually high action parts. You probably could do these a little bit higher infill, but they worked out just great. So yeah, I mean, I now have it, so it's fully automatic. I literally just pull this down and it just goes back and forth. I think that's exactly how it's supposed to go. I didn't see if it was supposed to be automatic, but I think unless I let go of the trigger, but you saw how fast that happens, it just goes right by really quick. So yeah, there's a few design things that I want to recommend to him and see what he thinks. A few changes I think that should be made, but we'll end up see what happens. It does work. This bolt needs to change up a little bit though, but as you can see now, it actually slides really well with the housing being a lot looser. When I tighten it down, it doesn't move at all, so it's a little oversized, or should be undersized for this part. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you want to check this model out, I will put the link to his like beta one or preliminary one on Thingiverse, which you can download, or you can purchase this one on his Etsy shop. Again, I will ask him to make some changes to this because I think there needs to be something changed to this bolt. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down, and talk in the comments down below. Either way, I'd love to hear from you guys what you thought about the content that I'm putting out. So if you guys want to stay on top of what I'm doing, make sure you're a subscriber. If you want to get a email notification or a notification on your phone, make sure to ring that bell icon, and I appreciate you guys watching the videos as soon as they come out. If you guys want to help me out financially, down below me, you can hit a Patreon link. That's a monthly donation you guys can provide to me. If you want to just do a one-time, there's Streamlabs or buy me a coffee down there. Or if you just want to do your daily shopping with some of my affiliate links, you can check those out down below as well. And I appreciate all that you guys do, even if it is just to watch this video. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, happy printing.